The classroom was too quiet. Sunlight spilled through the tall windows, dust floating in the air like tiny witnesses. 30 students sat frozen at their desks, eyes shifting between the whiteboard and the girl standing at the front. Her name was Aisha. She stood straight, hands clasped, heart pounding so loudly she was sure everyone could hear it. The chalkboard behind her was filled with equations, complex, tangled symbols that made most students dizzy just looking at them. At the teacher's desk, Mr. Halvorsen leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, lips curled into an amused smile. "Well," he said, tapping his pen. "Go on." Aisha swallowed. "I believe the answer is incorrect, sir." A soft gasp rippled through the room. Mr. Halvorsen laughed. Not a polite laugh. Not a surprised one. A mocking laugh. "Incorrect," he repeated. "You think my solution is wrong?" Aisha nodded slowly. "Yes, sir. The variable was substituted improperly in step 3. The teacher shook his head, still smiling. "Stop embarrassing yourself." The words landed like a slap. Some students looked down. Others smirked. Mr. Halvorsen stood and walked toward her, towering just a little too close. "I've been teaching mathematics for 25 years, he said loudly. "I suggest you focus on learning the basics instead of pretending to be smarter than you are." Aisha felt heat rise to her cheeks, but she didn't step back. "I can explain," she said quietly. He waved her off. "Please. We both know where students like you usually struggle." The room went dead silent. Everyone knew what he meant. Aisha was the only brown girl in the advanced class. A scholarship student. The daughter of immigrants. The one teachers praised in private but doubted in public. Mr. Halvorsen turned to the class. "Does anyone else agree with her?" he asked, already chuckling. No hands went up. Aisha looked around, at classmates she had helped during exams, at students who had copied her homework answers. "Nothing." "Exactly," he said. "Sit down." Aisha hesitated. Then she picked up the chalk. "I'm sorry, sir," she said, voice steady. "But the answer is still wrong." A few students sucked in their breath. Mr. Halvorsen's smile disappeared. "Fine," he snapped. "Show us. But don't waste our time." Aisha turned to the board. Her hand shook at first. Then it steadied. She rewrote the equation, line by line. Her voice was calm, clear. "In step 3, she said, you replaced the variable assuming continuity, but the function breaks here." She circled a small symbol on the board. "You see this?" she continued. "This changes everything." The room leaned forward. Even Mr. Halvorsen stopped smiling. Aisha worked through the problem again, slowly, carefully, correcting each assumption. Numbers began to fall into place. The chaos turned clean. She reached the final line. A different answer. She stepped back. Silence. A long, heavy silence. Then, one student whispered, "Oh." Another muttered, "Wait, she's right." Mr. Halvorsen stared at the board. His face drained of color. He walked closer, reread the steps, and frowned. Once. Twice. Then his jaw tightened. Someone in the back let out a nervous laugh. She solved it." Aisha turned to face him. "I wasn't trying to embarrass you," she said softly. "I just wanted to understand." The teacher didn't answer. For the first time, he looked small. Finally, he cleared his throat. "Class dismissed," he said sharply, erasing the board too fast. By lunchtime, the story had spread. By the end of the day, it reached the principal's office. Turns out, this wasn't the first complaint about Mr. Halvorsen. Just the first one no one could ignore. A week later, Aisha was called in, not to be punished, but to represent the school in a regional math competition. Mr. Halvorsen didn't teach that class anymore. On the day of the competition, Aisha sat in a large hall surrounded by students from elite schools. Expensive calculators. Confident smiles. She solved every problem. Finished first. As applause filled the room, Aisha smiled, not because she had won, but because she had proven something important. Not just to them, but to herself. Never confuse silence with ignorance. And never mistake confidence for intelligence.